President Joe Biden expected today to announce a Office of Gun Violence Prevention. And some people you may talk to when having this conversation about gun violence says that is a political term. It's not really what happens because guns don't create violence. It's people who make violence happen. So maybe instead of calling it gun violence, you just call it violent crime with a firearm, which can range from homicide to robbery to a whole host of other things. A lot of what you see reported practically every day out of Chicago, for instance. But a gun violence prevention office, the White House saying that this will include ramping up approaches and implementation of things like red flag laws and background checks and laws to hold gun makers accountable for gun crime, they say. You've got others who are pushing back against this, saying that the plan it weaponizes federal resources against citizens who are law-abiding gun owners. In particular, a Republican from Texas, Congressman Michael Cloud, said he and other members of Congress are not taking the president's actions lying down. They say that they've introduced Protecting the Right to Keep and Bear Arms Act. Interesting that you have to actually have an act to do that when it's clearly in the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. But regardless, looking to advance this, September 19th statement announcing the legislation, they say that the bill would explicitly prohibit the president from declaring an emergency to impose gun control, as well as block government officials from prohibiting the manufacturing, sale, or transfer of firearms and ammunition during a major disaster or emergency, thereby preventing them from illicitly using public health as an authority to try to curb those rights. So, Gun Violence Prevention Office going to be created by President Joe Biden. Well, what would that look like? We'll see. But you have Governor J.B. Pritzker, who already created a Firearm Violence Prevention Office and has appointed an assistant secretary. Here's a statement from the governor just a few days ago, actually. It's my pleasure, he says, to appoint Kwana Bell as assistant secretary of Firearms Violence Prevention. As Chief Development Officer of Westside Health Authority, Kwana grew the organization's capabilities exponentially during her tenure, now serving 15,000 people. He goes on to talk more about her credentials. The Office of Firearm Violence Prevention, OFVP, it was established as part of the Reimagining Public Safety Act, which was signed into law by the governor back in 2021. And the governor's office goes on to say that the act calls for a comprehensive approach to reducing firearm violence through community investments to address root causes and provide those most at risk with access to evidence-based and trauma-informed services. So we have our own firearm violence prevention office in Illinois with somebody now at the head of that moving forward, and even an assistant secretary of the office. And what exactly their role is going to be. If you look at the Office of Firearm Violence Prevention website for Illinois, it lays out the mission is to address statewide public health emergency, that is firearm violence, through increased community capacity. Again, are we talking about firearm violence? Because should you instead, proper English, I wasn't an English major, but shouldn't you have... say that it's violence with a firearm, or just clearly call it violent crime? Why try to, make an inanimate object the thing that is committing the violence? Should it instead... Listen, I know semantics here, but this matters, especially when you get into court and you start breaking down, what shall not be infringed means, or what the right of the people means. To keep and bear arms means security of a free state. What does that mean? Words matter. So what's really going on here with not just Illinois' Firearm Violence Prevention Office, but the soon-to-be created federal gun violence office under Joe Biden? We'll take a call here at 217-629-7970. Good morning. You are on WMAY. What's up?
Is this here of the week, or we talking about guns?
I'm sorry, your phone was real hot and heavy there for a moment. Say that again. Hello? Going once. Going twice. I think his phone was a little overdriven and may have fried this channel. I don't know. Maybe you can try again. Are you there? All right, I'll go to line 2 and see if that works. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Morning, my friend. Hey, no, you're absolutely right. Words matter, and you would think that it would be the left to actually figure that out first, since they're the ones that's always turning words around. But I guess, words really don't matter whenever it's for them. But yeah, no, the whole gun thing, it just boggles the mind. They want to, especially up in Chicago, they want to say, they got the best gun laws in the state, yet, most of the crime happens there. So I'm not really sure what, Pritzker's really trying to do. I mean, I guess he's basically making this state a testing ground for Biden's things. So, but to let everyone know, because I know you would love this little bit of this nugget. Did you hear that Blink-182 is coming out with a new album?
Not to, I guess in a way disappoint you. I'm not a Blink-182 fan. I never was, even back in high school. Yeah, listen, I like punk. I like punk that's raw and in your face. I don't like Disneyland punk, and that's kind of how I feel about Blink-182.
That one kind of just hurt me to my core. Greg.
I'm sorry, dude. I know it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, however, their new song that they dropped out, it's, in my opinion, it's one of their best ones. But I figure, it's Friday. Everybody needs something nice to end on. But I will send it to you.
Okay, right.